Okay, so guys, this is gonna be my last video today, but I gotta say this, right? Because I got a couple of young black women that had a problem with me addressing the whole video about the young lady and the skit with the young lady with her mother and the abuse of the young girl. Um, for the person who left the comment that I have deleted and blocked, you're blocked, right? I am not a black woman that has any hate for other black women. Do I dislike a lot of black women? Most fucking definitely. But I don't hate them, and I never malicious or sabotaging towards them. I come from the school of thought I was taught by my grandmother. My grandmother believed in, if you don't have nothing nice to say to a motherfucker, stay away from them. All right? If you don't have nothing nice to say or do where it concerns that person, don't do shit at all. That's me, 100%. But when I'm sitting here talking to you about the actual importance and necessity of a good relationship between black women and their daughters, I mean that shit. See, because I am one of those little black girls that grew up to be a black woman who had a very, very hard relationship with her mother. But there's one thing the two of us never did, was give up on each other, right? Now, I find it very strange how black women don't have no fucking problem giving up immediately on other black women, especially their mothers and daughters. But you gotta literally break their motherfucking back and beat their ass to the ground for them to give up on a fucking nigga and some bum ass motherfucker that they are so convinced is God's gift to them. You should have a problem with that. And to fucking insinuate that I was mixing up the age of the girl to give justification to the age of consent in the state is some crazy shit. And it speaks to your motherfucking sexual deviancy, not me. I am a black woman who was one of those little black girls that was raped as a little girl by a grown motherfucking man. The last thing I'm ever advocating for in this fucking world or the next is for little black girls to be sexually abused. Are you out your motherfucking mind? The point is real simple. Black women need their daughters. Daughters need their mothers. That's the reason why you have mothers and daughters. The reason we got all this fucking dysfunction in the black community and in black families is because black women are taught, indoctrinated, and continue the fucking practice of making black males more of a priority than they do themselves and their little girls. In a fucking nutshell. My mother became a junkie, an alcoholic, every drug known to man, because she was brutalized by several black men who gang raped her. She could not deal with the reality of that. So she had a hard time coping with that. And then she ran into a man, or I should say young boy at the time, because my parents were teenagers, all right? Who was not very sure of himself and eventually ended up getting hooked on heroin as a result of going to the Vietnam War. When he came back from that war, he turned my mother into a fucking junkie, among everything else. Now, as she was already hurt, nursing her wounds from being so fucking vilely dealt with, she started dealing with a fucking narcotic that turned her into something else. That is not my mother. That is something that has transformed my mother and given her an illness and created an additional factor of other things that are extenuating in life that would give her a much more harder fucking way to go in life. I would not consider myself a decent human being if I was not able to have some type of fucking empathy, compassion, or fucking understanding for my own motherfucking mother. So when you black women and young women are on here so easily ready to write off your mamas and your daughters like they don't mean shit, that speaks a whole hell of a lot about the motherfucker you are. Not the person you claiming or projecting has done so fucking much to you. It speaks volumes about your ass and maybe how raggedy the fuck you are, okay? We could give everybody in the world compassion, but we can't give other black women compassion. We could take a nigga with no legs, no future, no good in that piece of shit whatsoever, and see all the potential in the fucking world in him. But when it comes to another black woman or a black girl, you can't see shit. So do me a favor. Keep your dumb motherfucking comments to yourself. I appreciate it. Last thing I want is for anything harmful to happen to any little black girl. I don't gotta know her. I don't want shit happening to her. And I've said that more than the fucking times on here.